I'm not filming this to brag, but I run quite a big online online business, from content, from social media, from stuff like this on here and on Instagram. And I'm seeing one big trend at the moment that's really taking shape when it comes to social media and how to use social media to grow a coaching business, and where a lot of coaches and content creators are going wrong right now, and what to lean in and go heavy on in 2026 if you want to grow, succeed, and really make a massive impact with your coaching business. So one of the biggest mistakes I'm seeing at the moment is that most coaches are struggling with leads, with getting enough volume of sales coming in, like sales calls coming in, to build their coaching business. And then when we dive into it, especially like when people book these new calls, right, that seems to be one of the bigger issues when they book these calls from these videos and stuff in Instagram. One of the big things that happens a lot of the time is, like, the big issue seems to be lead flow. So not enough leads, not enough sales calls being booked into the calendar. When we try and understand why that happens on these calls, and we give them a strategy to implement, it's quite funny actually, by the way, as well. Just gonna go off on a little tangent, but we had a physiotherapist book a call, like an audit call for their business, about a month and a half, 2 months ago. He booked a call. We went through his business. We went through kind of the bottlenecks he had with his ads and his organic strategy. We went through that on a call, from him literally booking a call, watching one video on YouTube with me. He went through that, and then he messaged last night saying, "Hey, Brandon, I just wanted to give you a quick update. I know I didn't sign up to your program. However, I made £1,000 just from the free stuff you gave me to do in terms of fixing my ads and fixing my content." So it goes to show, by the way, two things. One, it's a subtle brag. Like, it's it probably sounds like a subtle brag, but the stuff we go through, like on the call with clients, and even people that don't sign up to the program, is so highly valuable, because a lot of the time they don't see the blind spots that they have in their coaching business, or they don't have. So they don't make the things because they're too emotionally invested. So sometimes getting an objective perspective on things will make a massive difference. If you do want to apply for one of these calls, it's completely free. If you do want to apply, there'll be a link below. We're getting super busy, so probably will cap it soon. So if you're watching this video quite soon, you might want to book it. In terms of the actual strategy, I've gone off on a tangent, but the actual strategy, the actual things I'm seeing on Instagram right this second, in terms of things that are working, things that are not working from a social media perspective, a lot of the time people struggle with leads, they struggle with volume, or struggle with people coming through, is because they can't optimize it Instagram for leads, and they can't optimize it for attention. Right now, more than ever, Instagram, social media, TikTok, like all of these platforms, are very much becoming an attention platform. So one of the things we need to focus on and obsess with at the beginning is optimizing our social media to be a follower generating machine, a lead generating machine, an attention generating machine, right? Most coaches are trying to sound too politically correct with all their content, and there's nothing wrong with being like politically correct, but what I mean by that is, like, they're trying to over educate too much. They're trying to not be judged by other coaches, by other trainers, by other consultants, and because they're trying to not be judged, they just post content that is too vanilla. It's not specific enough. It doesn't really speak enough to anyone, and because of that, it doesn't get leads. It doesn't get engagement. It doesn't get traffic. Because it doesn't get traffic, it doesn't really move forward anyway, right? That's a very simple thing we need to optimize. It's become quite specific with the pain of who we're talking to in content. If we're super specific about what kind of pain are people having and how are we solving it, it's going to become much easier, right? Don't try and be like over the top of like, I'm so good, I'm such an expert, I know my stuff, right? That doesn't really help anyone. What we want to look at is create content that's hyper specific towards solving problems that the people we want to work with has. That's the very first thing we want to look at. The second thing we want to look at with our content is how can we create content that is already playing to trends that people have, right? The trends on social media. I'm going to give you a massive nugget here. I speak to a lot to one of my friends who has a huge audience on Instagram, And one thing he gave me on a WhatsApp on Instagram is like close to 1 million followers, right, across different platforms. But one thing he gave me on a WhatsApp message, which I've been implementing, has been a massive game changer. He said he has a second Instagram account. So the Instagram account is completely blank. There's no like motivational quotes, there's no business, there's no stuff that he would usually kind of like or comment or engage with. The second Instagram account is just there for inspiration. So he would go on there, he would go on the explore feed on that phone. He would go on the explore page and he only engage with people that were his audience, right? Or engage with the kind of content his audience would create or would want to see. So his offer is like financial advice and like investment and stuff like that. So he'd go on that Instagram account, he would just engage with his avatar. Like he would put himself in a mindset of, okay, if I am my avatar, if I'm a young guy that's looking to invest and looking to build up that side of things, what kind of content would I be seeing? What kind of content would I want to see to do that? So he'd like that content, he would save it. And what the Instagram does, the Instagram algorithm does, it's really clever. So on that second account, it would only show when he's bored, when he's doom scrolling, he would only go on there, he would go on the explore page on that account, he'd see the exact content that's going viral that his content wants to see. And people pay thousands of pounds to get that content seen, right? You can get that for free if you just create a blank account, you don't engage with your friends, you don't engage with other fitness content or other coaching stuff, you just engage with the type of content your people would want to see, right? He'll show you stuff about relationships, money, mindset, like whatever stuff in your audience. You can see the exact content that's going viral in that audience, in that space. And then your job as a creator, as a content creator, as you should now be when you're trying to build a business and get attention online, your job from there should just be to see how you can replicate that content and make it specific to your audience. And by the way, guys, like this is nothing new, right? Like recreating content, adding your tone of voice to it, it's nothing new. And what I mean by that is if you look at a lot of the big creators, if you look at the news is one of the biggest content clubs and channels in the last 100 years, right? All they ever do is they just react to stuff that's already popular, the stuff that's already been spoken about, the stuff that's already happening, right? The more you can do that with your content, the more you'd get more attention, the easier it'll be to grow, right? A very simple format of content. I use this example a lot because it's super universal. Like what we do with our clients is it's much more specific, right? It's like we wouldn't just do reaction videos, but I use this as an example. Reaction videos, like if you have like a green screen, like if you put out green screen effects on CapCut, you can download a viral video, download a video that's going trending. Make sure to use like the first 3 to 5 seconds, no more. Use the first 3-5 seconds of that video, you know, see what's going on, and you might be like, I can't believe this just happened. The video plays in the background, you cut yourself out. The first 3 seconds, the first 5 seconds of that video plays, and then you go, okay, here's what I agree with this video, here's what was good, or here's what wasn't good with it. It does really well because you're using the original hook that's already performed really well, and then you add your own tone of voice and spin to it. I share all of this stuff with content, with strategy, because I still see and I still speak to coaches that are trying to go and build their business the long way, the hard way. The hard way is to go on Instagram, to try and message people, to try and follow and unfollow people. It works, but spoiler alert, it's much harder to do this now than it was 5 years ago. The reason it's harder to do this now than it was 5 years ago is because more and more coaches are doing this kind of strategy. They're following people, they're unfollowing people. I have a friend that runs a really successful AI agency now. Like there's AI that can literally do that. His AI does this. It follows people and follows them and messages them. So it's becoming more of a noise, and it's becoming more and more stuff that used to work. The reason it doesn't work as well as it used to now is because so many people are doing it, and people become like numb to it the more they see it. The faster way to grow in this space in the next 12 months is just to do your very best to get massive attention on social media, and then leverage that attention on the back end to build trust and turn that into clients. And when I say massive attention, I just mean be able to get 500 new followers from a reel that you've done. Like one of our clients, Haley, gained like 940 new followers from one video she did. So it just takes one video to pop off to do really well, and you have 900 people that you can message and turn into qualified leads in the back end, right? So that's the biggest stuff I'd look at. Obviously, in terms of how to do it, the more tactical stuff of growing an audience and driving that forward, I filmed a few very in-depth videos on how to script, what content to script. If you do want to check those out, I will leave them in the description of this video so you can watch those and grow. So there'll be one in particular that comes to mind that's super high value on that side of things. So if you watch that, you get a lot from it. If you want to see more content like this, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And if you want to book a one-to-one call with me personally on Zoom, where we sit down, we break your business, we find out what to fix and how to fix it to grow forward, then there'll be a link to do that below. The calls for now are free because you get a lot of the time people get so much value from this call that if they choose to work with me one-to-one down the line, it's a win-win, right? I get a new client from it and they get amazing results and grow forward. So that's the incentive for me to do these calls for free. But if people don't join, like one of my not my clients, but one of the people that did book a call, you can end up making £1,000 for free, right? So if you want any of this stuff, action it, and I'll see you in the next one.